All right, you
Hello.
guys. Hey, welcome to
Hello.
the No Mail
Just Love podcast.
podcast. I feel like I catch you off guard every time when I do that.
You really do. You gotta give
I'm
me a cue
sorry.
here. What's going
I got you.
on?
Next time I'm gonna be like, you ready?
Give me the eyes. Okay.
But yes, welcome back to another episode. We are now on episode 3. Like we are in here. Like we're official.
Cheers.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
Okay. So what are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about our relationships. About our
Really?
relationships and all the good things that come with relationships while dealing with a special needs child.
Yes. And by
That's-
relationships, we mean like friendships or just romantic relationships.
I mean, I'm at romantic, but if you
Okay.
want to talk about other relationships, I'm cool with that too.
No, I was just like clarifying for the audience.
Okay.
But okay, so we're talking about romantic relationships today. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get it. Oh, well, before we get into it, I just want to let you guys know that if you have any questions you would like to be featured on the episode, if you would like to be featured on an episode as like an interview, and if you have any wins or any stories and things you want us to share with our audience, you can email us at nmjl pod. What is the email? Oh, okay.
Oh
So
my
I'm
God.
sorry. It's
It's
NMJL.
NMJL podcast at gmail.com. And also
Exactly.
please stay for the credits.
Yes,
There is a survey that you're gonna have a code and you can scan the code to go ahead and fill out that survey.
exactly. What she said. So email us there and we'll definitely feature you in a future episode. So let's get into it. All right. So, the first question. So, are you in a romantic relationship?
Yes, I am. Are you in a romantic relationship?
Yes, 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 I am. So, okay,
Lovely,
talk a little bit more about your romantic relationship. Like, what does that look like? Are you married? Are you just in a relationship? Are you dating? What?
No. I'm boring. I've been with the same person for about 8 years now. Even a
Okay.
little longer than that. We met each other in high school and we started dating in college, took a break, and then we got back together. And then ever since, we've been together ever since then. So we have been together for a very, very long time.
Okay. So yeah. So and you said, I'm sorry. You said that. Are you married?
I would call it a religious relationship.
Okay.
That's what I
Okay.
would call it. That's what I call it.
Yeah. That's your man. At the end of the day, that's your man. Your man. Your man.
Yes, that's my main man right there. My main man.
All right. So I am in a relationship. We are not married. Not even religiously. Okay.
Okay.
We not like that's a whole other story. But we've been together
Okay.
for a very long time. I think it's been what, 12, 13 years. We've been together for extremely long.
Good Lord. Good Lord. Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. This is honestly my only like really serious real relationship that I've ever had. Like, so we've been together for a very long time. We got together very young and we still holding out. We still here working it out.
See,
But
that's
yeah.
beautiful. Yep. I could, so 13 years, if you tally everything up, I guess it has been around 13 years for me because started dating when I was 22. Nope,
Okay,
excuse
yeah.
me, 19. Yeah,
Okay.
19, 2 years to get 2 years after that, took a break and then got back together when I was 24. So yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm old, y'all. Well, not old. I'm not old. No, I'm seasoned.
Girl, we was born in
33.
the same year. I'm not
Yeah,
cutting it.
you
Mm-mm.
claim it and enough. Claim it now. Claim it.
Every episode, I feel like I'm fighting for my
You
youth.
keep fighting it and you just gotta accept it at this point. But okay, teacher's on. You are 30-ish years young. There you go. Let's just do it like that for you. Let's just make you feel good.
Okay. Okay, so now, with your relationship, right? So the premise of today's episode is to talk about our romantic relationships and how they impact us having children and raising children who are autistic, right? And so, what
Yep.
is your um? Should I call him your husband? Like, how do you prefer people to refer?
Um, well, I just do it by his like Ty, because Ty and Sky, so that's pretty much what you can call him.
Oh, that's cute. Okay, so
Yeah,
what is Ty's relationship to your son?
he is his father.
Okay.
He is his father. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So same. Keon is
Okay.
my
Yeah.
son's father as well, or whatever. So I guess I didn't have to go through the whole dating aspect. I can't wait till we can talk to somebody who is going through like dating and everything. But I will say I'm very fortunate to not have to deal with that because they say it's he in the dating pool. So if it's already hard for people who
Yeah.
don't have children, I can only imagine how it is for people who have children, let alone somebody or a child that's autistic. So, whew, thank God for that.
We will be interviewing a whole lot of people. I have people reach out to me regarding this, hoping that they could be a part of this episode. So as time goes on, we'll bring people on who are single who can kind of give us a different perspective. I think
Yeah.
that will be really great. But as of now, this is just people who've been in this committed relationship. So we're going to talk about it right here. So how does having a special needs child affect the relationship, Jasmine?
So I don't think right now it doesn't impact our relationship because I feel like we've kind of gotten over that hurdle. But I will say before his diagnosis, I am very protective of my children, right? Very, very protective, like mama bear on 1,000 when it comes to my kids. So like, um, even with his dad. And so just to go back a little bit, I was raised in a single parent household, right? So I did not have the experience of having a dad and seeing what that dynamic is supposed to be like with like a father figure in the home and how parents come together to like discipline and stuff like that. So I'm going off of like this is my child. Like I know that we have this kid, but like this is my kid. And I don't like the way you yelling at my kid. So we really struggled in the beginning with that or whatever. And it took a lot of maturing on my end, and it took a lot of learning about our son's like diagnosis and things like that. And we're still sometimes figuring it out, but like it took a lot of learning for us to kind of come on one accord and come on one page. And since then, like I could see that he is actively trying different things to see like how this works. For example, like in on the first episode I told you guys how he was in this gorilla group with the teach program. And in that teach program, they had like a session for the parents or whatever. So every session we all start out together and then we would separate. So the kids would do their own thing, we would do our own thing, and then we would come back together. He went to a few of those sessions and it was some pamphlet or something they taught him or gave him or whatever, and it had like these books. And I told you about how the negative self-talk that he does. So this book is supposed to like help and like give him prompts and things like that to do with him, and it also helped with his reading. So that was something like he ordered by himself or whatever, got it for him. He's been doing it with our son like by himself. And so I'm really proud because it's something that I'm not having to take the initiative to do. And it's something that he found is working for him and our son. So yeah. So the long way of answering your question. Yeah, that's where we are. What about you?
Well, that's a really good place to be. I'm happy that you guys don't have any struggles while dealing with this.
Not
I
anymore.
think from Well then, yeah, I think that's what happens in the beginning, right? Because you get this diagnosis, things start changing, schedules start changing, more demand is placed, and
Yeah.
you're just kind of going through this space where you're trying to figure things out. And then sometime within figuring things out, you're still figuring out the dynamics of your relationship and what, pretty much where they're at. And first, I like for me, with that, this is our first child. This is our first child. When Hassan was diagnosed, he was 2 years old. And, we're first time parents. So this was something that we were trying to balance and figure out. And I think when we started doing scheduling, that's when things was like really intense
Yeah.
because I'm running, I'm moving here, I'm moving here. And when you have a child that's pretty much level three on the spectrum, they need all the services. They need OT, they need speech, they need teach, they need ABA, they need all these therapies. And typically, it's like having a full time job. Um, and for his father, he was working. And for me, that just meant that I could not work. That meant like, hey, you're going to be doing all this ripping and running. And sometimes, as a parent, you just like, huh, this is a lot of ripping and running. And then you
You're
look at your
right.
partner and they're just sitting there and you're like, mm-mm, get up. You're coming. You're coming. You're coming with me. You're coming with me. You're coming with us. You're not going to sit here. Uh, I think for him, he was like, okay. So sometimes he would come and then sometimes he wouldn't. But I think it
Hmm.
was just, it was like we were missing each other.
Yeah.
So sometimes he is, sometimes he's working and then I'm doing things with Hassan and we're ripping and running. And then finally when we're together, we're exhausted.
Yeah.
Uh, we're like we're really exhausted. So it's
Yeah.
like you have to find that balance. So I think that was more of a struggle is to kind of make time for each other. And then little things matter, whether you're sitting there and you're watching TV or you're going to talk about something that you saw or, just talking about the events of your day. I think that's very important in a relationship.
Right. Okay, so you said something just about like missing each other or whatever, right? So
Yep.
do you feel like at sometimes how am I trying to ask this? Like, did you feel like I'm having to do too much or whatever? Like I need some of the weight taken off of me. Like, have you felt like that in the relationship?
Yeah, I did. And I communicate. I think it's very, you feel like much. And sometimes, while doing that, you just say, hey, can you when he has all these therapies, can you take him to one at least where I can just have some time with myself? And he
Hmm.
did that, which is really great. I think that you just put in the schedule like, hey, I'll take him to OT on Tuesdays. I need you to take him to OT on Thursdays. And that was our thing where we kind of swapped off. So
Yeah.
if I'm taking Hassan to OT on Tuesday, he's home relaxing. And then when I get home, we're all relaxing. And then we just switch roles, which is like, it's great. I think that's what you really need to do when you're having all these schedules and coming in play is saying to
Right.
your partner, I need some assistance here. And sometimes, even when I finally have some space, I have to choose between whether I'm hanging out with my partner or if I need some me. I think you have to have a healthy balance when dealing with these things.
Right. Yeah, I agree. It definitely feels good when you have somebody that you can kind of be like, I need you to take the lead on this one or whatever. Like I need time to relax. I need some
Yeah.
me time. Self care.
Self care is the best care. I think sometimes you feel guilty in a relationship to just have self care.
Yeah.
I used to struggle with that. And then I realized, hey, that's a part of my health too. If I don't have self care, then next thing you know, you start getting more frustrated, you become more overwhelmed. I think I had one of those weeks, like a few weeks ago, maybe last week. But
Hmm.
after a while, when you don't have self care, or you don't spend time with yourself, or kind of like unwind, you start becoming frustrated in the house with your partner, handling tasks. So I think that's just very important to do, and it's good to have a partner that understands that. And if
Yeah.
not, that's something to communicate with your partner that this is something that I need. Um, and hopefully, just sitting down talking with them to get it. And if not, making it a designated thing for you to do. Say, hey, you may not understand it, but I need it. I'll be back in an hour.
Right.
I'll be
I
back in
mean,
an
like you
hour.
said, yeah, like you said, self care is a part of my health. That's for my health, literally health or whatever, because they talk about how like what stress can do to your body, like physically or whatever. So yeah, self care is needed.
It is needed. It is needed. So I guess, what does your partner have a different way of handling your autistic child?
Yeah. So okay, at first, so our son is our first kid as well, right? So at first we tried the whole whooping thing, right?
Hmm.
And we quickly realized, like, actually, this doesn't feel good or whatever. Like, I actually don't like this. And so, he is more of the like, I told you what to do, right? Like, sit down. Like, he's more to like her, like, I'm not
So he's
going back and
strict.
forth with you. Not
Yeah, he's
strict,
more firm.
but he's
Firm?
more, yeah, firm. Because
Okay.
sometimes I gotta come put my foot down. But he's
Okay.
more firm. So he's more of the firm parent, and he's more like, I don't care, like, you throwing a temper tantrum. I said what I said. Like, it is what it is, or whatever. Like, oh well. Like, you wanna yell, I can yell too. And
That's a
so
lot. That's a
I'm
lot going on, right? That's a lot going on.
right. But honestly, balance because it's needed. Because I'm
Yeah.
the parent who's like, okay, all right, I saw or I read about this method, so let me try this or whatever. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna breathe in through our nose, we're gonna breathe out through our mouth or whatever, because this isn't working. We're off of shit or whatever. And sometimes it works. And other times I'm
Sometimes
like,
it works.
yo, this ain't working. And so his dad will come in and he'll be like, I look, now, what your mama say? So yeah, he's more the firm, like I said what I said parent, and I'm more of the I'm gonna try new methods type of parent or whatever. Like I'm gonna try to calm, cool, collective parent. So yeah, but yeah, so with that or whatever, I don't know. Our parenting styles aren't super super different, but I do know that it took us a little while to kind of come on one accord and like agree like okay, the whooping thing doesn't work and really kind of not do things that we grew up doing or having done to us or whatever for discipline. So yeah.
Ready. Okay, so for me, I feel like I am both. I am the firm one and kind of the laid back one. I guess it's because more so I spend the most time with Hassan. So I know that, hey, sometimes I give him more leeway because I'm like, hey, he needs to regulate.
Hmm.
When he's regulated, he takes direction well. When he's not, I give him more lenience and I let him do his thing. So for instance, he'll be more so let's say I'll say, Hassan, you gotta clean up. You gotta clean up. You gotta pick up your toys. And he'll go, he'll whine. But if he's regulated and I see like he has no issue, I'm like, yeah, you're gonna pick up them toys. I'm not asking, I'm telling you. Now,
Right.
I'll make the start now, right now. And then he'll be like, I'm like, all right, so go to your room. We're done. Now I'll do that. But if he is not having a great day, I'll pick up the toys. I'll let him do his thing. So that's where we kind of I'm more of the understanding one in that sense. His dad, depending on I think it's more like I think of it more like they played it like they just have a different bond. Like he rough houses with dad all day, all night, and I'm like, ugh. And he'll be like, sometimes he'll let me, do the disciplinary, like, no, I said sit. And then he's like, wait, come on, why don't you sit down? I don't feel, no, I got it. Don't, like, it's like we seesaw. It's like we both seesaw. So there's times where I'm like, hey, why don't you just sit down? It's okay. I'll handle it. And then sometimes it's vice versa. No, 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 Sky, I got it. No, he's fine. It's like, I like how when one of us seems to hit our max, the other one's like, wait, pulling us back. Wait. Well, why don't you go in another room? I'll talk to him. Let me handle it.
Right.
I think it's more of like just whoever is the most level headed for that day, we let the other one handle it. If I'm not level headed, I'm tired, I'm exhausted. He's like, okay, I got this. If he's
Yeah.
like, no, I can't do this, you go in the other room. And I like the way we seesaw. When it comes to
Yeah.
our child's care, as in therapy and things like that, I'm more take on the role with that. He has like an input and a say so, of course, but I'm the one who's with the therapist mostly. I make the decisions, like, because I have the time to look on these things more
Right.
than him because he works and he goes to school. So I'm
Yeah.
the one who's like, no, I read about this and his therapist says this, or his occupational recommended this, so let's try this. And I follow all the breadcrumbs to lead to where we're supposed to be.
Right.
So where that's how we move in this household.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I like that. So it kind of works out. Like you guys really bounce off of each other's strong points, basically.
Yeah, I think so. It took us a while to get to that point. I think after a while, you just have to trust the other person. Like for him,
Ooh.
he's the more, yeah. After a while, it's like you have to, and this is coming from someone who is like, no, I'm gonna do it my way. I think after a while, it's just you have to realize that your relationship, our relationship, like my relationship with my son is gonna be completely different from his father's. We are two
Yes.
totally different individuals, and we have to accept that. And he's gonna learn what he learns from his father, and he's gonna learn what he learns from me. So,
Yeah.
just keeping that in mind, that helps with the balance. So, and just knowing what you're good at. Like for me, I feel like I'm not good with the athletic stuff. That's not me. I'm not
Yeah.
ready to run with you. I'm not going to the park with you. I'm not doing all that stuff. That's not for me.
Right.
Dad can take you to the park. Dad can play basketball. Dad can throw the football with you. I ain't finna do that. I would sit there and be like, go ahead, you shoot that ball. But I'm not gonna sit here and go do all that stuff with you now. I'm not that
Yeah.
mom. I'm the
Yeah.
mom who's like, hey, I know this program, we're gonna go to this program, we could try this, we could try that. Hey, I got this toy does this. I'm the type of person who's like, yeah, we could bake a cake. And when I mean bake, I mean box cake. Let's be clear. I'm not a
Yeah.
baker, but I'm that mom. So just
Yeah.
knowing what you good at and what your partner's good at, that helps a lot too.
Yeah. And like you said, the trust part, because what they don't tell you when you have a kid is that like anxiety of letting other people do it or whatever. Like no, like let's say even down to like something very small, like changing a diaper. Like, you know what? I got it. Don't worry about it. Like I will just I know I'm gonna do it right the first time or whatever, but I had to realize that he's doing it right too. It's just he's doing it right in his own way. And it works for
Yeah,
him. But at the end of the day, our son is still safe. It just this method worked for him. That was the best method for him. I don't agree, but it worked out. Like I got my method, he got his method. Cool.
yeah, I definitely feel the same way. I think, um, as for the baby stuff, sure, yes. I think for me, when it comes to his care, I am so much more thorough than his father. And that's
Hmm.
why I would say, like, you have to trust your partner. Like, he trusts me to handle this part, where it's
Yeah,
like, yeah, I'm taking care. I know what I want. I know what's needed. I know how I want it to look. And because I've been around a therapist so much, I know what to look for. I know what to expect.
yeah,
So I think when it comes to like special needs part, it's more of just understanding that who does this best. And if not both, you have to do this together. I think
right.
if we try to, and it works for everybody's different. For my relationship, I feel like it's best for me to handle it versus he handle it. Because I feel
Yeah,
like that's when we're gonna start to clash. I'm like, why did you what time did you select the appointment for? That doesn't make
yeah.
sense. Because if we wake up at this time, then if you make the appointment at 10 and we went to bed at 4 a.m., that don't make no
Everybody is
sense.
upset.
Everybody's upset. He gonna have an attitude. I'm not getting up and going, this is not gonna work.
Right.
Versus if I handle it, I'm thinking about plan A to plan Z.
Hmm.
Okay, if we wake up at this time, okay, we should do it at this time because regardless, he'll have enough sleep to wake up and go to this appointment and go here and go here. It's like you have to trust within your partner that, hey, your partner does good in this department. You have to trust that.
Yeah. Now, when we're talking about like the differences and everything on how we handle versus our partners handle our autistic child, do you agree on their plan of care?
Um, I mean, I think he's pretty much by the book. I think for him, he's like, hey, what did the doctor say?
Hmm.
And I'm like, okay, like he bases his opinion based off what the doctor says. And then we just research. So I think for him, I would say yes. It's
Yeah.
pretty much he would just listen to the doctor what they recommend and then kind of base his opinion based off that. And I think from us, we're kind of like on the same wavelength. Whatever the doctor says, we're going to take in consideration, we'll do research, and then we'll circle back. So I would say as of now, yes, he
Hmm.
agrees with the plan of care.
Yeah.
What about you?
For me, I think he is like, okay, if she feels like this is cool, then cool, I'm with it or whatever. Like, I think the trust level is awesome on my end, like
Yeah,
as
it's
far as
like,
him trusting me. But yeah, so it's kind of like, okay, so because like you, I'm usually the one that's doing like the doctor's appointments and things like that or whatever, because he's usually at work during that time. And so I have the most flexibility out of both of us to take them to those things. And so usually if I'm coming back and I'm like, hey, this is what the doctor said or whatever, or hey, we should try this and stuff like that. And he's like, okay, unless it's just something he's like like completely uncomfortable with, like medication or whatever. It sometimes it takes him a little while. He's like, let me think about it for a little bit, and then he'll come back around and he'll either say like, yeah, I'm cool with it, or nah, I don't want to do that. Let's do something else. So yeah,
so you mentioned medication. Is that something that you and him agree both on? Like, is that something that you guys are on the fence about? Because that's something that can be quite difficult. If you agree with medication, he doesn't. How do you
yeah.
work through that?
Right. So at first we both were on the fence or whatever. Like I mentioned on the first episode, like that stigma of putting my kid on medication, like, and the medication is for ADHD. So putting
Mhm.
him on the medication and it's like, okay, what are the side effects for this or whatever? Like, how is this going to impact him? Is this going to change his personality? Things like that. And so at first we were both on the fence, but we have a pediatrician in our family, and he got a chance to like really spend time after I discussed like the diagnosis and all that stuff, and we talked just me and him, and he was like, yeah, so about that medication, like when we're gonna do it. Like, girl, he needs it. Like, like he needs it. And this is going to help him. So I want you to really consider that. And at that time, I was like, okay, I really trust this person and their advice in my life. And so I brought it back to their dad, and he still wasn't really on board with it yet. And so I we just kept talking about it, and I gave him the space to have those doubts and things like that and not be on board yet. But what I did was I kind of just was like, okay, well, let's just try it for a little bit and let's see or whatever. Like, here are some things that they say that it will improve in his era in his life or whatever. So let's just try those things. Let's see how it works. We'll try it for like a month. If it doesn't work out, then cool, we can move on. We could not try that again. And so at that point, he was like, okay, I guess we'll try it. We'll see. And we tried it and we noticed a difference. So it worked out for us.
Okay, so the next question would be is how do you work through your differences? And for
Yeah.
us, I think cooling down is the best way to work out your differences. I think for me, sometimes things get so tense, I can't really talk. Like I don't really want to speak. And we have a safe word that we use, and it's like a random safe word where it's like conversation's done, ended. We will get back to this, promise, but not right now.
Yeah.
And we have two safe words. One is end this conversation right now. I don't want to talk about this no more. Let's put a pin in it. And the second safe word is for, hey, I'm not in a good mood.
Right.
And that's just a heads up. So I think that works. Like, for instance, the first one is peanut, which is where we say peanut. So we'll talk, like, he'll start talking, I'll start talking. And if one of us calls peanuts, we have to stop speaking about this topic immediately. That is the rule.
I
And the
like
second
that.
one, it works. It works. It makes, and it's also kind of like a laughable matter. Like it also makes us laugh because we'll get so tense. So we'll be like, da! And next thing you know, we'll be like, peanut. And then the other one's like, really? Really? Peanut. I'm not talking about this no more. We'll talk about this later. And
Yeah.
then cashew is another word that we use where we just let each other know that we're not in the greatest mood, which is also good because it's like if I wake up and he's like, hey, I want to da 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 da, I'm like, cashew, not right now.
Yeah.
So
I
that really
really
helps.
like that.
Yeah, it works.
I
It
like
works.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. We don't have a safe word. That would be cool though. Probably would have helped, especially in the beginning year. But we when we are having our differences or like arguments and things like that, he is very nonchalant. Very nonchalant. He is very much like, I don't really care. Like it is what it is. And I am very much like, no, we care. We both care. We gonna talk about this.
I think that's me too. Oh, you're not, so what? No, we're gonna have this conversation today, now, right
Yes.
now. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I so because he is so nonchalant, like that would make me even more mad or whatever. When like so now I'm mad about whatever it was, and on top of that, I'm pissed because you don't care. And you don't really want to talk about it and you're just like brushing it off. So I think that now where we are, I don't say things at first or whatever. Like I don't immediately speak on it. I now take the time to like really think about it. Like is this really worth like being super upset about? Like, let me get a day or whatever to really think about it. And then I'll come back and I'll be like, hey, I want to talk. I feel this way about this or whatever. And this really upset me. And we're able to communicate a lot better because I'm not so rah, 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 rah. Like, and he's not just nonchalant. He's able to hear me now or whatever. So usually we just kind of talk it out. And sometimes he'll make a joke about it. So it'll be something or whatever, and he may make a joke about it to like ease the tension, make me laugh, and we kind of just move on from there. But we don't really dig deep into it. Okay, so how do you keep your relationship alive? How do you keep it spicy? How do you keep it like well and not stale?
I don't know. I'm gonna need you to go first for that
Girl, let me tell you about these tricks I know. Just wait.
one.
Nah.
Who you got
What do
tricks?
we do? Okay, so
Oh God. Oh God. It's a lot going on.
sorry. Okay, okay.
Good
No,
for
some things
you.
that we do, we are still figuring this part out, right? We are not the best, especially after being together for so long. Like it definitely gets real still. But one thing that we've been consistent with lately is shows, like watching shows together or whatever. Like I don't know if you've seen that show on Hulu, Paradise. Like it took us a while to get there, but we watch the show. So we like to have these shows that we like to watch, and we'll watch it together. We'll try not to watch like the next episode. So we'll put the kids to bed, and we'll like get together and we'll just watch it or whatever. And half the time we fall asleep on it because it's at night. Like we're relaxed, we're tired or whatever. But we at least start off like the first 10 minutes of the episode
That's
really
progress.
connecting. Yeah. But that's really it. And then rarely do we get a chance to vacation without the kids. And I mean rare, but when we do, we go hard.
Oh, that's
Like
nice.
yeah.
That's
We
nice.
really go hard when we do get that chance. So yeah. That's what we're doing right now. So if you guys have advice, send it my way at least. Like let me know what's some things we could do.
Please and
Like
thank you. But
yeah,
yeah.
especially at home with the kids. Let me know.
Well, so for me, I think so what I do is when he's off, because his schedule's a little iffy, but when he's off, I make sure that we have a meal together. So something like his favorite meal, like we make sure that when he's home, I cook big breakfast
Okay.
and we have tea at the table. I do the whole spread. We have to sit down and eat together. We do the occasional watch shows and movies. We are so opposite, it doesn't make sense. And
Mhm.
then for him, it's like we watch shows together, but it's like he falls asleep. And I'm like, listen here. No, no, no. That's not a part of the plan. But another
That's
thing
me.
that I'm just like, come on now. Like, that's not what we said we want to do. But another thing that I used to do, we have to like do it again. We used to date at home. So dating at home would be like me dressing up, all this off, just dressing up, dressing up. And then he would get dressed. And then like I think we did like kind of like a dinner on the floor kind of thing when Hassan was sleeping. And I was like, look at that. Look at me trying to be all wifey. Like, look at that. I was so cute.
Yeah.
So I did that and it worked out. I did it like a few times. But now
Yeah.
I'm at the point where I'm like, yeah, I want you to do that for me. Like get to work.
Yeah. Oh.
But yeah, just doing little dates at night where it's like, one thing I try to do, I think I did painting. So I did like a
Mhm.
paint night where I got like the canvases and the paint. He had his
Mhm.
canvas, I had mine. We tried that. That was pretty good. I was like, oh look. And you have to kind of they have a lot of things online where they teach you how to paint. I didn't do that part. It was more of, hey, paint a flower and let's see who
Yeah.
paints the best flower kind of
Yeah.
thing. And I did the whole eating on the floor kind of thing where you order food and you have a spread and then you put on a movie that you guys haven't watched and
Yeah.
you dim the lights. I did that. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
because we don't have a lot of childcare at all. So there is no like we go out by ourselves.
Yeah.
We do have it like occasionally, like once in a full moon. And I think the last movie that we seen together at the movie theater, no judging, was Black Panther 2. And that was like two
Okay.
years ago.
Yeah. What was that? Was that 2 years ago or that was last year, right?
That was no, the one with
Was that two
yeah,
years
with
ago?
Siri. Yeah, with Siri. She
Oh
became
wow.
a that was like 2 years ago. So I think like that's the last movie we seen together. And we went out a few months back to the pizza shop to
Okay.
mushroom pizza, like mushroom pizza or something like that.
Yeah.
And that was it. But
Okay.
usually you have to do something, we have to do something at home. So that's what we do. I think that's
Yeah.
the way to keep it alive. And then also like still talk to your partner, still like make connection. Like
Mhm.
tell your partner what you're doing or what's your thoughts and
Yeah.
keeping that flow up. I think that's the
Yeah.
way not to get lost in the mayhem, is to still be you guys. I
Mhm.
think that makes sense.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. I'm definitely. So, do you like true crime?
They're like, what?
No. True
What is that?
crime?
No, you
No.
weirdo. I don't. Y'all are
I
sick
like true
giving me
crime.
different ideas. I don't like that because that's some crazy stuff.
He doesn't really like true crime either, but but on TikTok I saw this thing. It's like you get like this game or whatever, but it looks like a case file or whatever. And you're like trying to solve the crime as if you're the detective. I thought that would be like a cool like date night thing or whatever. So like order it and we like, have some food, just kind of relax, put the kids to bed and try to like solve this case. You
Okay.
looking like,
Okay.
girl,
Okay. I thought you meant like
no.
sit there and watch the true crime stuff.
No,
Like,
no,
okay.
no.
Because I can't do that. I could watch like, if it's fiction, fine, I'll watch it. But if it's like
Yeah,
real
but true
stuff,
stuff.
no, I'm not watching that. That's not fun. That's not fun. That can be a reality. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But no, that's fun. I think, oh, we do Family Feud. We play the Family Feud game.
Okay.
We like that game. So,
Oh yeah.
I like that game. It's funny. They have the adult version and then they have the family version. The
Okay.
adult version is a little it's a little raunchy.
Risque.
A little
Okay.
risque. But it's like it's really it really be catching you off guard because you don't think it's that risky until you start playing. Like, hold on, that's a lot going on. That's a lot
Yeah.
going on. But it's a
Yeah.
good game. I like stuff that makes you laugh. I like stuff that makes you laugh.
Me
So
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
playing games, I think that will work. We are really good. Like we used to play Uno because
Okay.
we don't play about Uno. We play different. We play doubles. Have you ever heard of Uno doubles?
No, what's that?
Okay, so there's like the regular Uno where you play by the game, but
Mm-hmm.
we do doubles. So that means like you'll have like 5 cards, and if you have matches, you can match them up. So you can like if you have 2 4s, one blue, one red, you can put it
Okay.
down. If you
Okay.
have two draw twos, you can put them down, and then the other person has to pick up 4. You're not supposed to play Uno
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
So that's how we play. Or we do like we put on if we have 3 draw 4s, we put down 3 draw 4s where the person has to pick up 12 cards. Like
Okay.
that's how we play. So we play
Okay.
intense. And he's like,
Yeah.
hold on, wait a minute. He's like, draw 4, draw 4, draw 4, draw 4. and boom, reverse back to me. Draw two. And it's like, oh, and he's like, Uno. And I'm like, oh, you did that? You did that? Wait, boom, boom, boom. We do the whole thing. It's like a whole game. We
First of
get
all, you
intense.
gonna have me drawing for the rest of my life.
It gets intense and we love it. We be like, oh my God. I think, and it's the funny thing, I learned how to play Uno like that. I don't know if
Hmm.
it's just the up north thing, because I was playing with my friend and she's from here. And she's like, you play it like that? I said, yeah, that's doubles. You never play doubles? She's like, no, we play the regular way, like one at a time. I'm like, that's why it's so long.
Yeah.
Be like that.
I haven't
But
played
yeah,
Uno in so long. Dang, I don't even remember how to really play like that.
yeah, it's really like a fun game. I don't play spades. He knows how to play spades. I don't
Oh,
play
I
spades.
love spades down. Okay, that's a southern thing right there. I don't know, maybe that's just a black thing, but spades,
That
I
is,
love playing spades.
it's a black thing. It's a black thing. Because I'm like, I'm telling you, you don't know how to play spades. You cannot, you cannot sit in
Like
there and
you don't know
play.
how to play. No, you can't be my partner. But let me tell you, when we first started dating, he when he visited, I was staying at my grandmother's at that time, and he came and visited for like I think it was Thanksgiving or whatever. But him and my uncle were partners, and me and my grandmother were partners. That was
Oh,
so fun. I felt like it was at that moment I was like, yeah, he the one.
yeah, he don't want because he know how to play spades. He know how to play them
And
spades.
me and my grandmama spanked that. So
Oh
look,
God.
that sounds okay.
He said, this is the time. This is the time to do it. All right. No, I do
But
not
yeah,
know how to play spades. I do not know how to play spades. I feel really bad about it. My mom never had the patience to teach me. Never had the patience. She don't play them games. She knows how to play spades. My brother knows how to play spades. I do not. I don't know about the other siblings, but I know the first three. I don't know how to play spades whatsoever, and I don't even get involved. I don't even tally it up. I be in the other room cooking, or I be chit chatting. I don't even mess with them.
you
But
know they have like spades apps or whatever that you could download. You can learn that way.
that is so jacked up. So the people who know how to play spades is going to tell me, hey, why don't you just go ahead and download this app?
You're right.
I'm not going to teach you. You can play on the app and then we see how you do when you come to the next barbecue.
You
It's
gotta
jacked.
okay, so you gotta learn when not at the cookout. You can't learn at the cookout. You gotta learn like game night or some no, not game night either. You gotta learn like random, like, oh, you guys, I'm visiting. And then just pull out the cards like, so who's gonna teach me?
And everybody's gonna be like, no, we're gonna have to play. We're playing, we're playing, we're not teaching, we're playing. Every time I ask, and everybody gets like, no, we're gonna play. Like if we have a good number, we're playing. That's how it is.
Look
Nobody's
at
teaching.
You
Y'all are
YouTube
so jacked.
University.
What happened to the community? What happened to the community? you know, y'all just gotta get it together. The spades gotta just it just has to stop. It just has to stop. You
Yeah.
have to teach. You have to learn. It's fine. It's okay. I'll probably never learn. It's okay. It's not that interesting. Y'all play y'all it gets too aggressive. I can't do it.
It
Can't do it. Y'all get
does.
it does.
I love it.
You're here for it. You're
But
here for all
okay.
the aggression. I get it.
Right. But no, okay, so I will say the last thing that we've done outside of watching the shows, we did like a battle of the music or whatever. So I was telling him he was born in the 80s. So he's like, I told him like the 80s music isn't better than 70s. Like 70s music is the best, hands down. So we did like a little like on our phones, just pulling up different songs from like me in the 70s and him versus the 80s. And that was pretty fun, like just going back and forth, just vibing out to the music. And I'm like, okay, you gonna play this? Like, what about this Marvin Gaye? Like, you don't know, like this right here is gonna be all the stuff that you just played. Type like that. I loved it. That was actually really fun. And we did that for like over an hour. That was
Oh,
fun.
you know what would
Yeah.
be really cool if what's it called if they had couples night. Like if they had couples night, like I've been seeing on it's funny. I hear about people, they're like, yeah, I went out with like another couple and it was so fun. It was like four couples. And I'm like, oh, that must be fun. I'm like, as long as y'all not playing spades. As
You
long as you
can
don't
get
play
the
spades.
drink.
No spades. Don't play spades on
See,
couples night. It
I
would be
need
an
that's
it,
your homework.
No. Next time you see me, you know how to play spades yet? I mean, I know how to dilly dabby a little
Fair.
bit.
It's
No,
funny. I was trying to teach a friend how to play spades like a few weekends ago, and the
you
next
got
day she
mad.
said, "I forgot how already."
Look, I bet you got mad too. I bet you did.
No, I didn't. I was real patient.
Oh,
I actually
that's so
like teaching
nice.
people.
You do? Okay.
I do. I do. I taught my little sister too because she couldn't embarrass me. She's always my partner. And the game nights, I'm like, girl, you have to get this
You have to
thing.
learn how to play.
Yes, you have
Okay,
to.
well, we did really well. We did really, really well. Everything went really well with the questions. But now we're at this time where we have to say so long.
Yes. So long, farewell to you, my friend. You remember that?
No,
Okay,
I thought
never
you were gonna
mind.
sing. I thought you were singing Steve. Now it's time for so long. But we'll
Oh,
sing just one more song. Things
oh,
will
I
come
forgot
in
about
your
that.
heart. You sure are smart, you know, with me and you and my friend Blue. We can do anything
Anything that you
that we
wanna
wanna
do.
do.
No, I was
Okay.
thinking the other one. I'll have to find the name of the show. But yeah, dang.
Yeah.
Well, that's another episode. But yeah, so thank you guys for sticking with us throughout this entire episode. Again, if you are still here, you are our person and we rock with you real hard. So thanks for joining another episode of the No Manual.
Just Love podcast.
Yes, stay tuned for the credits. There will be some information and you'll see the email as well. So talk to you guys later.
Bye.